Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2 is officially out, and with a new season comes map changes. So in today's video, I will be providing you the top 5 best low-key drop spots for you guys to land in Ranked. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Fortnite informational videos, and let's get right into it. So the first spot we're going to be going to is a place called Summit Temple and Summit Base Camp. So this is the Summit Temple right here, and then the Summit Base Camp is right up here. So we're going to go right to this location. It's close to Mount Olympus, but not too close where you could actually go to this location and maybe pick up one fight, if that. So we're going to dive in right now, and I will show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, why this is like the #1 spot right here. So, you know, obviously Mount Olympus is one of the craziest POIs. It has a mythic there, and obviously you don't want to go there right off the rip because there's like 10 teams all the time. So what we're going to do is land on the outskirts. Nothing wrong with that. You want to get best loot possible. So we're going to land here. There's either a chest that spawns here or a chest that spawns here. This time nothing spawned here, which is kind of crazy. There's always an ammo crate here. There's going to be floor loot sometimes around this area. There's a chest that spawns right here usually, and nothing is spawning right now, which is crazy. So obviously the spawn rates of the chests are not as frequent. There's usually a chest up here, and there's always this mythic one right here, and it usually provides you wings, but if it doesn't, it might provide you the Zeus mythic. There's floor loot here as well, another chest there. And once you make your way up to Summit Base Camp, after you rotate from Summit Temple, there's a reboot van just in case you lose your off-spawn fights, want to reboot your teammate. There's plenty of chests to work with, about 3, and then you got slurp barrels. If that's not even enough to loot up with, you're going to rotate down here, which everybody remembers this location because this was from last season as well. There's barrels here, but even more barrels in here with the chest. After this, if you're still not satisfied with your loot, you can break all these bushes and go right in here. And this will take you to the secret cave that everybody was talking about from last season. Once you land here, there's more barrels here, lots of ammo crates. We got consumables, floor loot. Sometimes a chest for gold will spawn somewhere over here. And then either way, you're going to break your way through the cave right here. And once you break your way through the cave, you're on the back end of it. This will provide you more chests, more floor loot. And obviously, if you keep going, there's going to be even more chests. I would say about 2 to 4. We're going to break our way through here. That way I could show you exactly what I'm talking about. All you're going to do is crouch walk this way, and there's even more chests to work with here. 3 spawned in right now with even a gun of floor loot. And then you're at the back end of this cave. Now, if you don't want to, you know, come back to the back of this cave, you can go through the porta potty again and make your way back up to where you were before. But because I got the wings, thankfully, we're going to keep on moving and not even go through the porta potty. Well, the porta potty will spawn you back here, and then you can rotate up here. Now, at this point, it's going to be your choice whether or not you have an ample amount of loot to push Mount Olympus if you're cracked out and crazy like that, or you can make your way, honestly, to Grand Glacier. Grand Glacier hardly has anybody there anymore because of these new POIs. So all you would essentially do, whether you want to go to Mount Olympus or Grand Glacier, is hit this launch pad. Once you hit this launch pad, get to the highest point, it will take you right to this next launch pad right here. If I could ping it. Okay, I can't ping it, but you know what I mean, right? Or you can hit this and then go straight to Grand. Obviously, there's vaults that are still here, but they don't provide the same amount that they did from last season because we have the hidden bunkers. Obviously, no chest spawned here, but you got a decent amount of gold if you need that. And that's pretty much it with this location. So let's move on to number 2. So for the second drop spot, we're going to go to Research Rock. Now, this was in last season as well, but most of you guys will remember it from like the winter theme. This is more of the Mount Olympus theme. Essentially, this spot is basically the same. It's very low key. It's way on the edge of the map as well. Hardly anybody goes here, but sometimes you will get a couple teams. It has a lot of slurp barrels, a lot of floor loot. It has a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a reboot van as well, just in case you lose your off-spawn fights. So obviously walking right in, we got 3 slurp barrels. Make your way here. We got even more. I'm already at 50, and I broke only like, what, 5 of them that I just found. We got slap juice. More slap juice here. Lots of floor loot. Look at how many chests there are here. Plenty to work with here. More slaps, more slurps, all that type of stuff. There's so much loot here. It's a very low-key, underrated area. There's not much really to explain about this area, you know what I mean? Because not much has changed. But after looting here too, you could always go to Brawler's Battleground, which is like right here. And you could fight the mythic boss and get the mythic stuff. If you really want, you could always take the zipline way up there and fight people as well. Or the boss, if it's still there, which 9 times out of 10, it's never there. But this is the second drop spot. Let's move on to number 3. Now, if number 2 was way too far out and it's not like what you're looking for, you want something more low-key, but maybe to fight some more people, I would recommend number 3 spot, Seaside Villa. There's at least 2 teams that go here. Maybe every game, maybe every other game. Sometimes it's not even populated at all. I feel like this side of the map is super neglected. Nobody really even goes to Snooty anymore. So, with that being said, a nice low-key area with another reboot van is Seaside Villa. And obviously, pretty much everybody knows the landscape of this spot because this was in last season as well. Just gliding over it, you have the slurp barrel right here. You have a launch pad right here. The reboots in the back right here. The slurp barrels that were here aren't as frequent in here anymore. They removed them like with 2 weeks left of season 1. I don't know why, but they reduced them for some sort of reason. But either way, you have plenty of loot here. You also have the Marigold NPC that will provide you wings if you have enough gold, or even a Ranger pistol, which is absolutely cracked out. It has all the attachments. It does have a red eye. And honestly, having this gun is pretty cracked out. Trust me. From last season, it was a 10 out of 10 gun. It's a very underrated weapon. And obviously, you have more chests in here. And then usually a car will spawn here or a motorcycle here if you really want to like go rotate. My next rotation probably from here when I land here would be up here at this like windmill area. The windmill spot's right here. There's more slurp barrels in here. And then you could even rotate to like Lovely Lodge, which is this way. Or you could go straight to Snooty because this is hardly contested anymore. Without the Peter Griffin mythic being there, nobody really goes there anymore, and there's so much more loot. This will conclude number 3. Let's move on to number 4. So believe it or not, this part of the map doesn't actually have a landmark location, but it is close to Pleasant Piazza. It's in between Pleasant Piazza and Snooty Steps. What you're going to do is go to these little 3 houses right here. And the reason why is because you get a lot of loot right off the rip. So I'm going to show you guys right now, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a rotation that you guys could take from here. So to recap really quick, you're going to land here, and then after landing here, you have this spot, which has the underground chests as well. And then you could also even rotate here if you want. Some people always land at this location that's pinged right now, or even here. But with this new season, there's hardly anybody that lands at these locations. So this is like a low-key spot that you could literally rotate here, here, or here after this location. And literally just go straight to this little thing. Once you open it, you're going to get 80% shield just by breaking it. The NPC, the lifeguard that was here, is no longer here. We got, you know, new NPCs themed around Chapter 2, Season 2. Because Midas is making a return. Newsflash, if you didn't know. Usually there's a car, maybe even 2 cars, and a motorcycle that spawns right in this location. In these houses, there are chests that you could, like, break and get some decent loot, like this new shotgun. I don't know how I feel about this shotgun, but you could always let me know your input in the comments below. And after that, if you really don't want to go to any of these locations and you want to start fighting right off the rip, I would honestly go straight to the Marigold. If you guys don't know, it's the boat. I would go to the Marigold because people actually land there, and there's a reboot nearby. You see that reboot station way in the front? People are always rebooting there every time I land here. So great thing to do is loot up here, make your rotations to this spot, come over here, grab some loot, drive your car, and within seconds you're going to hear the reboot van going off because it's so freaking loud. After they reboot, usually they would like to go to the Marigold, or they go to this location over here because there's new chests around the area. It's closer to Grim Gate, but they start rotating that way. This would be the number 4 spot, so let's move on to the 5th and final spot. So the 5th and final spot is going to be this little island right here, and I know what you might think. It's way out there. I don't know if I want to land there, but hear me out. Once you land here, there's going to be plenty of rotations to go to. Usually there's 5 slurp barrels and 8 chests. There's chests here. There's another chest here, ammo crate, chest, and the slurp barrels are right here. So that already will give you 50% shield if you don't even find anything in the chest for some odd reason. We're going to take this porta potty, and this porta potty is going to lead us to this spot right here. So if we're looking at it on the map, it's right here. I know what you're thinking, looking at this circle. It's like, oh my god, wow. But yeah, you would essentially take this all the way over here and land here. You could literally go over here, and there's a slurp truck right there. This rotation is pretty good for you guys to reboot your teammates, and that's a huge factor as well, just in case for whatever reason you have some sort of fights. People do land here, believe it or not, so I would just keep your eyes peeled for this location. But as you can see, the zip line leads you to here, and you can see how close we are to the circle now. If you don't want to rotate this way because there's like nothing here but Grand Glacier, you could always rotate the opposite way, which would be taking the porta potty from here, and then there's another zip line that leads to this location, which is called the slumber yard. Here you're gonna find 3 additional, barrels, slurp barrels, and like 5 more chests, and you could even rotate here for another 3 slurp barrels, which is called coastal comms. And obviously there's chests out in this open right here before you hit classy courts, which has a lot of loot as well. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these spots, and let me know as well in the comments below if you want me to do 5 additional ones, because of course we have 5 more to go over if you guys would like them. But that's going to conclude the video, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.